Hello and welcome to another episode of Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the match between Mumbai Indians and Kolkata Knight Riders. Kolkata Knight Riders starting off their campaign with a loss. Almost one-sided game. With due respect to Kolkata, they got beat on the field with almost 200 runs, and then didn't really put on really a chase. Also, kind of lost by almost what they lose by 49, 50 runs. Uh, the biggest margin of defeat over the past 4 or 5 games that we've seen. So I have with me, of course, the host, the main man, Musti. How are you doing? And
Uh,
what are your initial thoughts?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Same old, same old.
Yeah, it was a one-sided game. We didn't get that entertainment of the last 2-3 games.
Hmm.
But I think Rohit Sharma and Suryakumar Yadav batted brilliantly. Yadav was actually very aggressive,
Yeah.
high strike rate, finding the boundaries. Rohit Sharma batted brilliantly as well. Once he got set, like proper Rohit Sharma innings.
Yeah.
The way he picks the ball and deposits it over mid wicket is just unbelievable with so much ease.
Yeah.
And I think the way they attacked Pat Cummins surprised me. He went for
Hmm.
49 runs like in 3 overs. That's like 16 runs economy, unbelievable. And he is supposed to be like the main leader of the KKR attack. I think the even Sandeep Warrior went for a bit, 11
Hmm.
runs and over in his 3 overs. But I think Shiva Mavi did a really good job with the ball for KKR.
Yeah.
Narayan and Russell as well, good job. But I think Cummins let them down with the ball. I didn't expect him to get hit. That's where I think Mumbai won the game.
Yeah.
He came and took out his frustration and smashed Bumrah for 4 sixes. That was also surprising.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think with the ball, he'll have to step up for KKR because it's already a young bowling lineup, and if the youngsters are doing a decent job, then the main guys needs to step up.
Yeah, he was a tad bit short. I think you need to be a little bit more. The length needs to improve a little bit more. Moving, I think this first game he's coming back from the UK where you kind of have to bowl a little, a little bit shorter length. So I think that's kind of where he was. He needs to go out there in the nets and just try to bowl a little bit fuller. I think he'll come back strongly. He's a champion bowler. I don't think
Yeah, I think he was
one
trying to try
often.
something a bit different. Maybe because
Yeah.
of the UAE wickets, he was trying to try something different. But yeah, you're right. I think he'll
Yeah,
come
I
back.
think just a little bit more fuller, maybe. Good line deliveries at least in the first half, and then try those yorkers towards the end. But I think it's just one-off game, just like that. I mean, not much to uh, there's not much to criticize Kolkata here. I mean, yes, they were outclassed both ways. Mumbai were the better team. I mean, like you said, Rohit Sharma, fabulous innings. The Rohit Sharma, like when he's in that kind of form, it's always fun to watch. And then 195, decent score. And then they were really never in it. Gill and Narayan never really took off. A couple of wickets in the power play, and then they were just kind of behind throughout the whole game. So there was not. They were really never in the chase. But I mean, yeah, that's about it. But
They hit the ball to the fielders quite a bit, both of them, the openers. I think
yeah,
they got frustrated and got out. But when you've already consumed a few dot balls, you need to try and stay out there, at least one opener, so that they can build a partnership at least with the guy who's coming one down. But then,
yeah,
Nitish Rana and Karthik had to build. By that time, the run rate climbed. So I
yeah.
think, yeah, it was always a uphill task for KKR.
Yeah, I think Mumbai had a near perfect performance. Even Bumrah kind of, except for those 4 sixes. I mean, his first 3 overs went for like 7, 8 runs, and he had those 2 wickets as well. So he's been. I mean, he got the two big fish. I mean, in Morgan and Russell. So kind of an ordinary first game, but comes back strong in the second one. Except for those Cummins hit those 4 sixes, but that's that. I
That
don't know why
surprised
that
me.
happened. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
absolutely
like he bowled
came
brilliantly,
out of
but
nowhere.
those 4 sixes, I think it will hamper his confidence because by getting hit by Cummins, you're supposed to be the leading bowler, right? The strike
Yeah.
bowler, and you came back really well, got the big two fish, but then got hit by Cummins for 4 sixes. I think that'll dent his confidence a bit. But
Yeah.
he's also a champion bowler. Like Bumrah has not been at his best in the
Yeah.
since December Jan, but at least those 2 wickets will give him some confidence.
Yeah, I think yeah, just I don't know, the one over. Yeah, definitely it'll go on in his mind for a bit, but I think he can take confidence from the fact the first 3 overs he went for just 8 runs or 8 or 9 runs, and he took the two big fish. But one thing that I think Kolkata can take positive from in this game was that Cummins, his innings. So you really don't need a Nitish Nayak at number 7. And you can maybe play a Cummins at 7 and a Mavi at 8 who can knock it around a little bit, and then maybe you can consider getting another bowler and maybe depending on the pitch, maybe try Nagar Koti or another spinner in their ranks, or someone of the sort, some Indian spinner that they might have in their ranks. Um, that would be an option for them to consider, because that way they can shore up the bowling a little bit. They don't really need it because they have Russell and Narayan in the top six who can give you 8 overs consistently. But I just feel like just an option for them to consider, because Cummins can give you those runs with the bat, and your top six is pretty solid with Cummins coming in at 7. This is something that they can consider. Like, it's just they have that flexibility. Not a lot of the other teams have that, but they have that flexibility, so they can consider that.
Yeah, do you see any other Indian batsman coming in and hitting it like that as his replacement? I don't really think so. I think
Yeah,
Cummins will play the perfect role. Like, he's proven today that he can hit it.
yeah.
So I think that will give them, like you said, a lot of confidence. And I think they should stick with him because he's shown that he can smash it around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Cummins at 7 is a solid player, and then Mavi, you can also just knock it around a little bit. So him at 8 also helps, and Mavi with the ball was good. He kind of brings in that little bit of a bowling all rounder kind of a capability in this team when you need it, maybe in the last 2 overs, just to support someone who's probably going at the other end. I think he can do that at number 8, and then maybe try like a Nagarkoti or someone else, maybe some spinner and in the ranks, the at as an extra bowler, and as an extra bowler, just so that if one of them's getting spanked, they have an extra option to kind of and maybe those 10-15 runs could have been a very big difference. Like, if a 180 target would be chased differently than a 195 target,
Yeah,
I feel like. So
that's where Cummins' spell was. It comes
yeah,
under
very.
the radar again,
Yeah,
right? Like, it was
yeah.
very costly.
Yep.
But even I think in the Mumbai bowling, Bolt and Patterson, they impressed me a lot
Yeah,
as well. They started off brilliantly. I think they tied down Narayan and Shubman Gill, and that's why
yeah,
the wicket they were dismissed. I think they bowled brilliantly. Bumrah again had, except for the last over. Chahar as well came back well. He got hit
yeah,
in the first game. He picked a couple of wickets. Pollard came into bowl. Like, I was
yeah,
surprised. I think Hardik has an injury. I'm not sure, but he's not bowling. Maybe slowly,
yeah.
like you said, slowly getting
Integrating.
into.
Yep.
Yeah, but Pollard, I think he can on these wickets. He'll be a very useful bowler. I think a couple of overs here and there, he picked up a wicket. I think it looks a good solid Mumbai performance, and this team, it looks good for Mumbai from now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they look solid. But just let's move on to the player of the match. I think we've covered all the bases on in terms of just the analysis. So, moving on to your player of the match,
Rohit Sharma,
has to
the
be that kind
hitman.
of an innings, man. What a player! What a player!
Yeah, fantastic
When
innings.
he
Just
when he
what the
plays like
doctor
that,
ordered.
yeah, when he plays like that, no one's stopping him. It's just very, very strong performance by the lad. Nothing to stop him. But yeah, well done to him. And what was your turning point in this game? Pretty much, was there any? I mean, it's kind of a one-sided game, but was there like any time where you felt like, okay, this could have been a decisive moment that they didn't
It was
really
Cummins'
answer
spell
on?
for me. I think that
Yeah,
changed the whole game. I think
definitely.
if he went for like even like 10-15 runs less, I think KKR, like chasing 170, 180, they would have been very comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the turning point for me. And Russell struggled a bit with the bat. Like, it was
Hmm.
even his boundaries, they were off the edge or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's interesting to see how he'll go on these pitches.
for sure.
But yeah, I think the turning point has to be Cummins' spell for me.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Yeah, I think that wraps up today's game. Moving on, tomorrow we have Kolkata versus Bangalore. KL Rahul versus Virat Kohli, both best friends on opposite sides. What are your thoughts on that game?
Karnataka versus Karnataka.
A lot
I
of
mean,
Karnataka on both sides.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
Karnataka in terms of Kumble as a coach also on the Punjab side. So
Yeah, well, RCB have a good record against Punjab, even when they've done poorly in the IPL. It'll be they'll have confidence winning the first game, so they'll be going into the game. They'll really want to win this game and start that flow.
yeah,
But Punjab will want to come back strong. A very good performance, a very close game they played. There's
yeah,
some weaknesses there, but they do have a really good team. I think it'll be a closely fought contest. I think Punjab have the edge, but I really want Mujib to play. I think Mujib needs to play. I think he could be a big bowler. But
yeah.
yeah, I think Punjab have the edge, but you never know if AB and Kohli are on song, then no one can stop them either. Again, the death bowling for Bangalore, it'll be interesting to see. They bowl really well. And Chahal, I think, will be the key bowler for them.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Muji playing in terms of maybe in place of Cottrell would probably be the situation, and I don't know if they consider maybe considering Gale up top, but they don't really need to because Mayank is has had a solid performance, and KL Rahul, of course, is your captain, so he's out there. But yeah, if it'll be interesting to see if there's any changes in these two teams because Bangalore coming off a win, Punjab coming off a very close loss, so a fun game to look forward to.
Yeah, I think Bishnoi versus Chahal will be an excellent contest. Like
Yeah,
who picks up more wickets and who's more like effective. But I think they'll
yeah,
both be effective because it's Dubai. It'll be the Dubai pitch.
yeah.
And so far the dew hasn't been coming into play in Dubai. And Abu Dhabi did in the first game, but
They
not
did,
today.
yeah, yeah.
But so I think maybe winning the toss and batting first might be a good way to go. I feel.
If the dew is not there, yeah, because you express yourself freely, and then you can just go donk it and maybe score like get a 200 score, and then hope for Bangalore's firepower to kind of fizzle out maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
Padikkal is coming. I mean, this will be a good game. We'll review it tomorrow, but it looks like a very even contest, of
Yeah,
course.
your players to watch out for.
I want to see KL Rahul perform. I think he did decently captaincy wise, but I think if he can uh, go on with the bat, he's a class player to watch too. And on
And one
the
more big
Padikkal
question:
again.
Will Chris Gale play?
That's why I said I don't know if he will play. That's I just mentioned that I don't think they need him
Oh my
because
bad.
Mayank
Yeah,
Agarwal, yeah,
yeah,
because Mayank Agarwal is has proven as a decent opener, of course, and they need that stability in terms of Pooran and Maxwell coming in the
yeah,
middle. I think so.
yeah.
I don't think they have this place for him, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I think
But I think
Maxwell will be key as well.
KL Rahul and Padikkal, because both these, if both these openers can give either side a solid base, I think that's where the game will be decided. I think.
Definitely. And who's gonna win?
I'm gonna go with Punjab.
Punjab. I'll also probably go with Punjab. Yeah,
Yeah,
but very close. I think.
it'll be a close game. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it could go either way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think with that, we've wrapped up today's review and moving into tomorrow. We'll catch you tomorrow. Until then, take care.
All right. Take care, man. Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.